Here is my presentation regarding the job research for my future profession in interior design. My career goal is to, after graduating and getting some experience with an interior designer that's already established and has their business, creating my own interior design business. That, or I am also interested in working at a company that builds custom homes. So maybe that's where I'll get my experience from, and then possibly work there as well as have a small interior design business of my own. Some of the ethical issues that interior design faces today, one of the websites that I researched was Giet Universe, and they talked a lot about sustainability. And just from my own knowledge, I know that we are in a throwaway society, and things that are made are not long lasting. They're just made to have for a short period of time, and then we kind of just throw them away, or hopefully donate them. And another thing that we need to do is recycle when we can. So again, donating items that we no longer can use if they're in, decent shape. Another thing is using sustainable materials when we are designing. And another thing to think about that I learned in a previous class here at Fox Valley Tech is thinking about energy efficiency, like utilizing natural lighting, using the sun's energy for heating and cooling, and ventilation. Question: has technology, new regulations, or economic changes created or alleviated ethical problems in your future profession? So, in our generation, we are used to things happening instantly. So I took a couple sentences from the website, Collins DuPont. So living and working in a world where information travels at lighting speeds has a profound impact on the design process. We are now able to design a project halfway across the world with minimal lag. This helps alleviate a lot of stress related to the design process, especially in our area where most projects are a seasonal residence. I found that interesting because we don't have to go to someone's house. We don't have to meet in person every time. We don't have to bring along all of our, you know, tools that we need. A lot of times we can do things online, through the phone, through video like this, like Teams meetings, or just messaging back and forth. So that is something that I think is helpful, but also takes away the personable touch that you can have when meeting in person and working in person with someone. Potential future ethical concerns might arise in your profession. This was something that I found. Someone stealing your design. Can you sue them? An article on UCLA Extension Career Services tells a story about a designer in Las Vegas, and he was working with a hotel in Las Vegas, and he created sconces for them. He made them himself, or created the design himself, and they were too expensive for the hotel, so they actually ended up taking his idea and going to a company that makes them in China so that they could make them for them cheaper and mass produce them. And because he never did a copyright on these sconces, he could not do anything about it. And then even when he tried doing a copyright on it, they said that it was just a functional design and not a piece of art. So there was no copyright things that they could do about that. Biggest ethical issues your future profession faces today. Something that I found again was clients who would prefer non-environmentally friendly design. So again, sustainability, things that are going to last a long time and that are made using recyclables. That is something that seems to be a large issue around the world, and something that I continuously found while doing this research. Has technology, new regulations, or economic changes created or alleviated ethical problems in your future profession? Seems technology has alleviated ethical issues because things are more transparent. There are less misunderstandings with technology and more ways of communicating and being able to do that quicker again. So I think that AI and technology can pose extra problems, but also can take some away. And every form of any career is going to run into those issues. So that is just something that we kind of need to try to appreciate and use to our advantage at this time, in this day and age. Potential future ethical concerns that can arise in interior design. Um, Bias in AI. So I took these sentences from the Pearl Collective. It's a website that I found this information on. The experts who train AI models and algorithms try their best to mitigate bias in what an AI tool generates. However, humans are inherently biased, and an insufficiently diverse or aware team can still create an AI model that favors certain races or genders. Models trained on already biased human content are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the original data. Conversely, AI can potentially remove all biases if trained properly. So that's something I never thought about, but I can see how that would pose issues for interior design and working with clients. A discussion question to consider. Sometimes interior designers can get discounts at different stores. What would you do if a friend or family starts asking you to use that discount? Something I thought about is that if you give it to one person, you kind of feel like you have to give it to everybody, and that's kind of where that issue comes in. So I thought I would ask that question.